QSO on here. I'm sorry, I just did some tuning up. I didn't hear anybody on here except Dave, so I hope I didn't bother you.
I just got on, so late start because it's Tuesdays, but that's how it goes. No biggie. What's new and exciting?
4CD.
Oh, there's a net down south that has something to do with a mullet on here, and I don't know what else. Thinking about coming to Connecticut and enjoying some outdoor dining. Glad to hear I wasn't stepping on anybody up here in the north. And I heard W2VW in there, who was very weak. I suspect he's warming up his amplificator. Nice day, a lot of people out. There was a big gathering of kids at the high school parking lot, hanging out with masks off and all kind of good stuff like that. It's a nice day. Not a lot to add. I'm only in here for a few minutes. I got a NASCAR race in about 10 minutes, but I'm going to go grab a beer and listen to Clark. W2JBL. Right back.
Sister had cataract surgery today, and then I was in training today.
Go ahead, Clark.
I was waiting to see if Dave was on frequency. You had mentioned hearing him.
And everybody...
He chimed in with an interesting comment. I don't know, maybe he's warming his amplifier up. He's got a very long lead time, film heating time.
The chorus and the choir, and everybody's singing.
And don't mind that other station. Those guys are still fighting the Civil War. They say they can't hear us anyway.
You know. I know that guy.
Well, apparently. All right. All kinds of excitement on ham radio, but then that's what makes it interesting, right? N1BCG.
They're going to hear me in a minute.
And did I say this is W2JBL? And the mind is a terrible thing to waste. What did I just say? I was going to go out to the refrigerator and grab a beer? Looks like I came into the room with a refrigerator sitting next to the glass unopened. I am losing it. Or maybe I really need the beer.
Maybe you needed a second.
This is the second.
Well, I mean like double fisting second.
Oh, well, I got a late start tonight. I also... Oh boy, I gotta get in and turn the Variac down or something because I just flashed over.
I missed that, Ben. Come back.
I'm warming up.
Yeah, man. Revving it up, waiting for the oil temperature to come up.
Chris, I'm almost positive that I was overloading your receiver that night. I was running stupid amounts of power, like double what I usually do that one night when you said I was ripping you up. I'm almost certain that was just receiver overload.
I'm using the Collins R390A. I have transmitted directly into this. I'm not overloaded. No, I figured it out actually. You do the math. A couple of nights ago, don't lose any sleep over this, but this whole deal. But I did the math. A couple of nights ago when I talked to you and I said you weren't bothering 85 at all, you were on 72, not 75. So if you're rolling your audio up at 7 kC, you're fine at 3872, but when you get up to 3875, it's 7 and you're in my passband on 3885.
I'm 7.5.
Yeah, that's a bit much for the AM window.
Nah, I like to spread out. I don't feel bad.
Well, then you're going to have to learn to keep farther away from other QSOs. If you run that on 3875, I don't care what power you're running. You could be running 100 watts. You will have artifacts above 3880, and that will be in people's passbands on 3885. And we already have a problem with a number of stations that are wider than that. I'd rather have you not add to it.
Well, how about now? How wide am I now? W2BTK.
That takes some time. Just keep talking because I don't have an SDR. I'm doing it I'm doing it mechanically the old way. Just about as accurate, but it takes longer.
All right, well, 1, 2, 3, 6, 7 sibilants. Should be right around 7.5. I see some overshoot though. It's getting way out there. This digital filter sucks. My Inovonics 222 was so much better, but that thing, it buzzes and it's old and crappy, and I'd have to go through it and do a bunch of crap to it to get it to like work right. So I just took it out of line. I'm using digital filters now, and they're not as good, man. I miss my analog filters in my Inovonics 222 that I don't use anymore. Let's see, got a text message from Dave. Oh yeah, those guys they can't be having that much fun. The nice thing about what I'm doing now, I moved my operating position. I'm not in the mechanical room anymore. I'm out in like the studio, so I can run stuff. I put the big blower on top of the amp so I can old buzzard at this power level, and I don't have to worry about anything. I should go check those web SDRs down south and see how I'm doing, because those guys said they can't hear us. That's good. You know, we can all use the frequency now. But I'm going to double check those web SDRs just to be safe. This is W2BTK on Montana Mountain here in beautiful New Jersey.
That thing drops off like a rock at 3877.
Hey, Bob.
Yup, same here. I missed the beginning because what I have to do to gauge somebody's bandwidth is narrow the receiver down to 100 hertz selectivity and slowly tune to the edge of the edges of the signal, and I can get extremely close to what you guys get with it. So you were all done by 3893, somewhere in there, but again, that's too wide to run in a window where we're mostly only 10 kc apart. 5.5, 6 is a little bit more like it.
Bah humbug.
Hi, Billy.
Ah, humbug. That's just right. Today's my favorite holiday.
And by humbug me, I've been on here for 50 years.
Yeah.
This is as narrow as my stuff goes, man. It is what it is. We can use 3873 while I'm on 3885, or I can be on 3873 while others are on 3885, but there's no middle ground there. There's no 3880. There's no 3875. And if you try, W2BTK.
On the internet.
All right, have it your way.
There you are.
You might not like the end result.
About what we're
Whiskey to bind, torture, kill. I'm here for pain.
Hi, Billy.
Hi.
Hi.
for a number of years. It needs to go away.
So I made my new Twitch stream, except I misspelled amateur. I spelled it A-M-A-T-E-U-R radio, and I screwed myself bad, but whatever.
You do in the power plant to try to clean up a chimney, or a smoke.
Spelling is fundamental, Billy.
But it's
What?
It's fundamental.
45 minutes from the house.
I figured if you misspell the word amateur, then you're a real amateur, huh?
Computer and try
We all are.
ways to improve the process.
And 2MDX.
So that's what I do.
Hi, Mikey.
And sometimes
Yeah, I'm trying out this 890. Came with 890 on AM for seeing how it works.
worked 20 years ago. Let's try this contact.
It's pretty high fine business.
Over.
Sometimes you just gotta apply a little bit of experience, and no, you don't want to use that. No, that won't work, kind of thing. It didn't work for me back then.
Speaking aside, someone on 38. All right, I'm moving around. I'll catch you later, Billy.
W2BTK.
Okay, Mikey.
Bye now.
Jay.
Bye.
Virtual we got in here. I guess he run down for supper.
Clark dipped out.
More XPM. Is anyone hearing my little PW signals?
Hi, Bob. Hello, Bob.
Okay, bye.
When you check in, yeah, and I was going to check in with my location.
It happens too much.
W209. CQ75. Close enough, man. W4CT, W4CDJ returning. Whiskey 4, Charlie, Delta, Juliet. So nice to hear your voice. 73. Home Citizen still playing the piano. I'll get over to Bob there. See what he's got to say. So I'm not going to stay long either. Had enough reading for this evening. So over to you, Bob. K4BKC, W4CDJ.
Okay, insulted. Oh, it did? Yeah, but it didn't have the AM filter in it, though, right?
W2BTK, W4CDJ returning. I need to mute this thing. We still have a 833. It's a Collins, what is it, 32B1 with the 833s in it. It's in the house there, down on the ground floor, but, you know, ever since her sister came in with us, you know, she's handicapped and couldn't take care of herself, so Georgia's kind of taking care of her, so she kind of took over my radio room there, so I moved my stuff. Well, I got a T368 and Johnson 500 and a Ranger and an amplifier down here. I came down the backyard and put my little shack, put a 100 amp service into it, so I could play radio and not interfere with her because her sister cannot get up and down steps. She's not much more than 4 foot tall. She's a dwarf.
I want to know what happened to Clark.
Cataract surgery today. So it's just one thing after another, but, you know, Georgia is all her sister Lindy has to take care of her. So it's all working out good. We're not complaining. So, but it's still there. Maybe someday I'll get to play with it again, but that's a beautiful old transmitter. I don't know if you've seen pictures of it or not, but I enjoyed talking on it. I used to ride with a Collins rig to modulate it and a 75A1 receiver. But it was a 20V1 and a 32V1 exciter, maybe. I can't remember now. It's been so long, Bob. But yeah, I had a lot of fun with it. It's still up there, and maybe someday we'll turn it back on. Oh, that's why I do walk in there and just flip the breakers on it, and the filaments light the tubes up, but I've not keyed it to see how the capacitors are, but they're all, you know, good solid oil-filled caps, I guess, for the most part. But anyway, I need to call him. I haven't talked to him for a while. I used to talk to him on the phone once in a while, but I've been listening, you know, in the morning on my SDR to see if he get any of them guys from the Carolinas, and I haven't heard anything, so I'm going to have to give my good friend Norm a call and see what he needs. Maybe I can weigh him down something there he can get on the air with if he ain't got nothing that works. But I'm going to say 73 this go around, Bob. Been a pleasure. Glad you got a copy. KB4BKC, W4CDJ. They're CDJ. Over to you, Bob. 73.
Georgia, have a pleasant evening. It's always a pleasure. And I hear Gary up in Indianapolis.
BGCAPP, Bravo, Charlie, Alpha, Charlie, Alpha, Papa, BGCAPP, or you could look it up on the ACWA, I think, Alpha, Charlie, Whiskey, Alpha, I think. Alpha Charlie Whiskey Alpha. I don't know. I can't remember all that stuff, but that's what we're working with. And so anyway, I've talked to WO before up in Indianapolis on his, I think he's running what is that thing? A Yaesu? Really sounds good. But I gotta go. So $73, W4CDJ.
One relay, and that's it in the sequencer. Just doesn't want to close.
Did you give me a definite time on this? Because we've been waiting like 2 years.
Yeah, hold on. That's sideband station. We're on AM. We can't copy you.
Testing 1, 2, 3, 4.
WA1STH on 3885.
That is one noisy chair. Hang on. All right. There we go. And there go the emails. Boy, just when you thought you were going to sit down for an evening of ham radio, in come the flood of emails. Back to work.
I thought I was going to sit down for an afternoon of ham radio, and then I encountered problems. But the radio stuff I was able to fix. That's not a big deal. I've got internet issues, Clark, and cryptic customer support, I don't know if they're going to get solved. I'm a little bummed out. I feel like a real amateur, Where'd you go, man? I heard you in here a while ago, and then you just disappeared. W2BTK.
Amateur radio gets a minimum of my attention on Tuesdays, and that's today.
Oh, yeah. The World Reggae Show! Show. Play some drops, man. You gotta be... Your excuse is you're never at that computer, but you must be right now. Gotta play some drops.
Done with all things computer. Good evening, everyone. N1 BCG.
Everyone? It's just me and you, babe.
No, it's not. Everybody in the world's listening to you guys.
Yeah, you never know who may be lurking. W3R.
There you go, Perry. He's got to know there's always people listening.
Mm-hmm. Play them drops.
Another black eye for AM.
That's right. Oop. Well, I'm gonna put some artificial echo in there and be cool.
I like that echo. Sounds like concert hall thing.
As my monitor was on. I'm being another black eye for amplitude modulation. Excuse me.
Billy's still got that little echo going on there. Sounds good. Somebody double with me. Shame on you. Again.
I think you're allowed to have reverberation and stuff like that, but I'm fairly certain you're not supposed to play music and sound clips on the air. And not to say you can't, but I don't think it's good.
Nope. Nope, but it's okay for Clark to, though, right?
Yeah,
I mean, you were just telling him to.
Be allowed, or will I get arrested?
I wanted to see if you would do it. He's too smart for that.
Apparently I'm not. But that's cool. Oh well. No sweat off my back.
Hey, Perry, which model Henry is that you run?
3KD Classic. Desktop model.
3KD Classic, and what's the average price on those now?
Oh, I don't know. There's not that many around. I never saw one until I saw this particular one. A couple grand-ish, give or take.
We'll have to check that one out. What do they got? What's the big one that's, oh, jeez. I can't remember the name of it. They sell for between 10 and 15 grand.
That's the 8K Ultra with the 3CX 3000 and it's got the remote control head and separate RF deck and power supply that goes in the other room. Yeah, they're pretty pricey.
Yeah, that must be the next step up for you then.
Well, this seems like a real hotbed of AM activity.
Yeah, they're playing that song Silence is Golden.
That's right, Brett.
Hey, Brett.
Hey! What's going on?
Just, we out here, as they say, as the kids say. We out here on 75 meters AM. The big time. The big 8.5. Wow, we're on 3885 tonight. I completely ripped my entire setup apart and rebuilt it in a different room, minus all the transmitters. I wasn't enjoying being amongst the noise and the heat and all that stuff, you know. My living room is just so much nicer. And now I'm out here, and all that noisy, hot crap is behind a wall. And I tell you what, it's pretty enjoyable. I should have done this a long time ago, man. I got the big air handler running in the other room. You can't hear it. Still got a buzz. I think I tracked that down, though. It's my damn modulator, man. I think it's got bad filter caps or something in it. That's part of the buzz. And then I think it's also originating somewhat in the Viking 2. There's something going on with that. I might try swapping out VFOs. I got another set of finals for the Viking 2 that I can swap in there and see. I don't know. I'm just fiddle farting around with my radios, trying to I'm enjoying my new computer too. It's giving me the ability to like stream and not drop frames, and I can have alerts and overlays and crap, and they actually work. It's kind of nice. Not to mention the ability to old buzzard. I could never do this before, man, because I was just watching that exhaust temp. And now I don't have to, but you're sounding good out there, Brett. This is W2BTK on Montana Mountain in beautiful New Jersey.
Well, I thought you moved to get the room ambiance. You sound like you're in a big empty room, which I guess you're in a big empty room. 40 over there.
Oh, hell yeah. That was part of it too. The aesthetics. The living room is very aesthetically pleasing. I've got wood paneled walls, a stone fireplace behind me, my knotty pine ceilings. You know, it's we're classy now, man.
Sounds like a tinderbox. You're 40 over.
40 over? Jesus Christ.
Yeah, put it in perspective, nobody else is stronger than 25 over.
What are you trying to say, Perry?
You're much stronger than everybody else, that's all.
Faux 10.
And that's where that hum's coming from.
Nah, the hum's there. When I just use the Viking, it's there. But I don't put enough signal on anybody with just the Viking for it to like really be noticed. But right now, I mean, you hear, if a gnat farted in this room, I bet you would hear it.
It's intermittently getting worse. Like it comes, you can hear it, and since you're so strong, you hear wow, then it goes away. Wow,
And then you had, the big
out of nowhere. And it's not like matching your modulation either. It's not like we're doing it where you just modulate it, so and it's on the chord.
Yeah, you guys doubled.
Sorry, go ahead, Brett.
I was saying, Billy could have just got a DIY rig and put it in a shoebox under the desk, and like, he wouldn't have had all those issues. He wouldn't even have had to been run off to the living room.
And what I was saying, Billy, was like the hum has its own mind. Like it was there, and then it wasn't, and then it goes away, and then it like comes up in the middle of a word, then it goes away. So it's not like it's there when you're modulating or not modulating. It's has a mind of its own.
It's coming from multiple sources. That much I know.
I hear two things. I hear a power supply hum that's real slight in the background. Actually sounds cool, and every once in a while it sounds like an open mic cable ground, sort of a little bit, from time to time.
Yeah, so that power supply noise you hear, that's the modulator. I've determined that. And then the intermittent one that you hear, that's some choke in my amplifier that heats up and gets crappy on me.
Well, just tell everybody you're running a Globe King, and it'll be cool.
I should run a Globe King.
I wish I had the room for one.
Yeah, they're cool, and they, you know, if they're stock, they almost always have that hum, and half of that's mechanical, and I think it sounds cool.
Thanks, Brett. I don't mind it that much, but I sure as hell can't get on the air without like 20 people telling me, "Oh, you gotta hum, you gotta hum."
Well, it gives you something to talk about.
I guess.
No, it is.
Well, I think it's very interesting when somebody has an imperfection, as opposed to most of the other people on the frequency that have, you know, professional broadcast quality audio. I mean, you know, just like everybody else.
Most everyone else has like nicer stuff than me, though. Seriously, I'm like running a bunch of crap over here.
But you're running it well.
It's all like homemade and crappy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And those other guys just cheat, right? That's just cheating.
It's not cheating. It's just, you know, you cracked a wallet. That's all. I could crack the wallet. I get a good job, but whatever. I'll probably buy an Anon someday and just get on with that, and that'll be that.
And a big amp.
Well, I got that.
Well, there you go.
I really want an Anon though, but I just don't want to buy a radio like that. I want to. You would find this interesting, Brett. It's this guy down in South Jersey that I know. He made like his own SDR transmitter, except it's like analog. It's not done in the digital domain. It's just done with double balance mixers and IQ signals that are basically just audio. And I'm really interested in building something like that, because you can make any type of waveform you want, any mode, anything, and like perfect AM. He's got, oh, we talked about this, his AC2IQ. You saw his page, and he had his square waves and triangle waves and all that crap that he was transmitting, and it was just perfect. I don't know. That's what I want to do.
Yeah, Dave knows what he's doing.
Yeah, but Daniel was like all over on top of it also. Was he KFR or I forget? You know Daniel, like young super genius Daniel. He was like explaining it to me how it worked.
Super genius.
FKR. KC3, KC2, FKR, KC3.
Yeah, that guy. Hi, Clark.
Good evening.
Hi, Clark. Yeah, well, you're talking analog. That's sort of like the original Flex 1000 was pretty much like all audio, you know, INQ stuff. And, I mean, it's the way that was done, and that can work really well. I've had a number of cheap SDRs that use like a sound card chip, like a relatively inexpensive sound card chip, and I'll tell you, the performance you can get out of those things is fantastic.
Yep. Well, I heard him talking on it a couple times, and it's like just trippy. The only thing I don't like about it is he has that really, really hard truncated filter on, you know, on the corner frequencies where he wants to be like 7K wide and like 7.00001 is nothing. It just sounds weird to me. Stuff needs a little bit of a roll off to sound natural. That was like my only criticism of it though.
I guess there's a way around that. You design it so that it goes wider than what you're going to do, and then you limit the bandwidth in like the analog domain, like you normally do.
Well, that's what I took your advice, Billy, and I rolled off my EQ starting around 4 kilohertz, and I said the hard filter set point for 7.2, but I start rolling it off well before that, so it's not as harsh.
Yeah, that's the key. You need a roll off, not a hard truncation of, your high frequency information, It sounds better.
And both of you guys have that, looking at the pan adapter.
Yeah, but mine's way out at 7.5, and there's not a whole lot of intelligibility past that, so if I go like, it's cutting stuff off, but for the most part, like naturally my voice rolls off around there. So I've got a hard truncation at 7.5, and I don't really get into it too much because, like, look, right now I'm one width when I say certain sounds, and then if I go super titty stuff like that, then you see the stuff shoot out. But that's not, that's just like every once in a while.
Yeah, you go out to about 8, but not often.
Yeah, I guess mine's out there when I do that, but most of my energy when I'm just normally talking seems to drop off around 4-ish, but it can get out there, I guess, if need be.
Well, I haven't built that thing that Clark's been working on, but I don't have any way to hard limits. What's that go out to?
Way out there. Far.
Yeah, but it's all that stuff is way down. Like any real signal, I saw it fall off, and it wasn't quite as wide as me. Like 3874, 3873 and a half. You were done.
Oh, okay. Well, so that's limited in a transmitter, I guess.
Yeah, I didn't have any attenuation on the receive side. You're like 30 over here, Brett, so I put like 20 dB and there would, like Billy said, that stuff is way down though. I wouldn't, most people couldn't even probably hear that or see it.
Well, that's the thing. If you're not really like multi-band processing it to 100% modulation out that far, when you have that, every occasionally, somebody 5 kilohertz, 8 kilohertz away, they're just gonna hear a little once in a while, a little sound. It's not gonna bother anybody. The people that really boost it up though and really jam it up there, that's that's not any good.
No, it's just all the time.
And there's some people that get out here with like really bad overshoot on their S's and T's, and it's like, I guess they're the cool kids, so nobody says anything, but it's bad, man.
When there was the rally was going on, I don't remember who it was, but somebody was running a broadcast transmitter, and I don't know what they were doing to it, but they were 40 kilohertz wide and like really solid out that far, and it was taking out like six QSOs or something, and like the guy's just cruising along, like tearing everything up, whatever.
I mean, it was like a couple Saturdays ago. Not last Saturday, but the Saturday before, I think. That's when I was seeing all that stuff.
I think I know what you're talking about.
Dude, it was really bad.
Yeah, it's really like 40 on either side bad.
I was seeing, between 30 and sometimes like 50K wide on the particular station.
Makes you wonder what the hell audio is out that far. It's got to be clipping and distortion.
Well,
It is. And I won't give away who it was, but they were running a Class E transmitter.
That's like a perfect double. And then all the energy, like anytime it ever goes out that far is when would get like real hot on the mic, get ha laughing, and it would really go out there.
Okay, so it's not a broadcast transmitter.
No, it was a Class E rig.
That's right.
It was Bob's old Class E rig.
Getting rid of like almost all this old homebrew tube stuff, like selling the tubes and maybe some parts and scrapping the rest and just getting a DIY rig and calling it good to go.
Why? Why would you do that?
I don't know, like why have all this stuff around, you know? It's not getting any younger, and I don't want to. It's going to be tough to get rid of one. I mean, it's like there might be a little teeny demand for it now, but you know, in the future, nobody's going to want any of this stuff, and somebody's going to have to get rid of it. What if I keel over? My wife will have to deal with it.
Just point her in my father's direction or my direction. Well, in my direction. He's past your point, the point you're at now.
Right. He's got a nice SDR and an amplifier, and he probably doesn't have all that old junk around either, does he?
Not nearly like he used to. He's got a couple of one HQ 140, HQ 160, and his night kits, a couple of night kits. And this Heath kit, his Heath kit Cheyenne transmitter. But I think that's about it. But it doesn't ever get used. He gets on his SDR or his FT101. That's pretty much it.
He used to have like a night kit T150 or something with an outboard plate modulator or something, didn't he?
Yeah, he still has it. All the mod iron's still sitting under the desk in his operating position. Yeah, apparently it's a pretty good sounding T150.
Yeah, I remember that because, you know, they were really pieces of crap. I mean, they were total bad designs in every respect. And your dad comes on and it sounds fantastic, and I said, man, that's just crazy.
Yeah, he always told me the story, how true it is, but he said Joe Walsh heard him on his T150 one day, then he went to go buy one on eBay, and there was no Joe Walsh on there buying them up. And my father was apparently trying to buy another one that him and Joe were in a bidding war on one on eBay, and he messaged him and said, hey, do you mind if I have this one? Because, you know, he'd basically been buying up everyone on eBay. He just a simple one-word answer back, no.
Yeah, I remember that thing. That sounded fantastic. I forget what he said. You know, he had described the modulator and everything, and I said, man, you know, like...
Absolutely. I heard you then. You're up over S9. Very, very low audio.
I know that, and, you know, obviously all the mod iron is still under the desk. And I haven't said anything to him lately. I'm sure he's probably listening too, but about him, you know, dusting that thing off and putting it back on. He was going to work. Oh, that crap! I gotta.
Yeah, that would be pretty cool.
Yeah, well, it's good to hear you on, Brett. I know you haven't been on lately for various reasons, but it's good to hear you back on. W3MMR.
Yeah, working and got a new motorcycle and doing a lot of yard stuff and, you know, it's the usual stuff, and I don't know, it's just, it gets old after a while. I take a break and I do it a little bit, but I don't know, the thrill is fading, you know. I'm a kind of a tube geek, I guess, and there's just nothing going on anymore, you know. It's like You get on the air and it's like, yeah, homebrew rig, okay, yeah, whatever. And it's like, you know, guys running SDR, they got broadcast transmitters, they got all kinds of things. Like, the challenge is gone. Everybody's got great audio. Everybody's got good signals. You know, it's just, I don't know, it's just not like it used to be, I guess.
Brett, you should just go around to everybody's shack and, like, disassemble their transmitters and take everything apart and leave it, you know, in the middle of the room. We'll see who gets back on the air.
That would be pretty cool to have, like, one of you know, if Brett went around to say, like, somebody had some way or another set that up and was able to get him into, say, my shack to disassemble my DX100, and then into your shack to take apart the, you know, the Viking 2 or, you know, or the amplifier, or go over to Clark's house. And I think that would be pretty cool.
That's what the FCC should do for, like, people in violation, and just take all their crap apart and put it in the middle of the room and say, like, all right, you can have it back, you can put it all together and make it work. And I think that would solve a lot of issues out here.
That's what kind of bugs me about upgrading. You know, like, I have a general ticket. I've had a general ticket forever. I got a commercial license, and that's it. And I could get an extra or whatever. I could study all this stuff and go and take the test. And it's like, well, wait a minute. I built my receiver. I built my transmitter. I built my VFO. Built my antenna. I built my audio processor. And I got to take a test from somebody who never built anything so I could get on, like, a different frequency. It just doesn't jive with me.
W2BTK.
W3 MMR. I think it would be cool that if we all got, like, a kit, say, like, you know, like a little transmitter kit. Or say Bob High, I know there's been a lot of crap talked about that little pine board project of Bob Hiles or whatever, but I think it'd be cool if we all got that and, like, started at, okay guys, started at 8 o'clock in the morning on Saturday morning and see, you know, how fast it would take us all to, you know, to get them done, like, you know, be like a prize for first place.
Are you sure you'd want to rush something like that? I mean, you know, you should take your time and do it as neatly as you can.
Well, yeah, but like I said, I can be for afterwards, you know, building a nice enclosure, but something like that, just a simple pine board, you know, and a piece of wood, kind of haywire, get the thing together, get it working, and it's kind of like a competition, and then afterwards you can put it all, make it all nice and fancy.
Talking about kits, the Nuvo 75 can actually work pretty good at, it's 5 watts carrier, or is it 20 watts? I forget. But you do a couple of little modifications so you can use a decent microphone, and that thing can sound pretty good. The receiver kind of overloads, but considering it's a transceiver, it can actually modulate well, and it can sound pretty darn good.
Weren't they designed to do well? Or are they just AM mode? They're just AM, right? No sideband?
Yeah, just AM, just 80 meters. It's got a digital VFO. It's got a mic gain, control, volume, tuning, digital tuning with a digital readout, headphones, power, input, and you know, comes with a weird setup with the phantom power for the microphone is also to push to talk. You got to separate that and then put a good microphone into it. And man, it's a class D rig, so it actually works pretty good.
Isn't the K7 DYY a D rig? clear?
Yeah, I believe so.
Where's this at? I can't find it.
4-state QRP, Nuvo, N-O-U-V-E-A-U, Nuvo 75. I don't know if they're still making them or not. And it, I mean, you even build the enclosure. And I think Clark's heard it on. I don't know what I had for a microphone for this thing. I haven't used it in a while, but the receiver, Billy would tear it up because he's just going to overload it. But if the signals aren't super strong, the receiver isn't too bad. It's a little broad. But the transmit audio is actually working pretty good. I think it's 5 watts carrier, and it gets up to like 20 watts PEP. I think that's what it is. I think that's what it is.
Yeah, I don't see it. I see pictures of it, but I don't see it listed anywhere for sale, unfortunately. Oh, that's cool. Anyway, somebody else jump in here. I mean to tie it up. I'm sure you guys don't want to hear me blab. Tie it up. I'm sure you guys don't want to hear me blab. Tie it up. I'm sure you guys don't want to hear me blab. Tie it up. I'm sure you guys don't want to hear me blab. Tie it up. It adds ambiance, that hum. It adds ambiance, that hum. It adds ambiance.
Yeah, it works.
That hum. I remember when you first came on with that Nuvo thing, Brett.
Yeah, stock they don't. Yeah, stock it's got like a really crappy hand mic, but if you put good audio into it, it's pretty good. I like playing around with all kinds of weird little low power things like that. SDRs. I got a what is it called? MCHF SDR, handheld SDR thing. It's an analog sound card based SDR kit that was made by this guy in England, and the Chinese kind of copied it. But I was playing around with that, and I put good like line level audio into it, and it's limited to 3 kilohertz audio, 6 kilohertz bandwidth. But it modulates really well, and it sounds really clean, and it goes down really low, and the receiver is really good, and like that's kind of cool to play with. But it only puts out like a watt or two. But it's kind of cool when you got these little circuits and these little designs and play around with. Not that they're very useful, but it's kind of fun, it's cheap and easy and small.
The Chinese copied it, huh?
Yeah, well, it was sort of open source, and it was a kit, and the guy was kind of like on and off with it, and like, you know, I was kind of trying to like run it as like a little side thing, and I don't think he was really making money at it, but he was offering, and it had to wind the toroids, and then they eventually came up with an enclosure and all, and then the Chinese, like, they said, like, well, hey, we can, like, build it, and since it wasn't, like, copyrighted or protected, they just started pumping them out, and the one I got's got a, this is called a 978, it's got a built-in rechargeable battery, got a touch screen, it's got a, you know, it's an SDR, it has a PAN adapter, and it's very user-friendly, and it has synchronous AM detection and different bandwidths you can do, and it really has fantastic audio. It's a much better AM receiver than, say, like the ICOM 7300 and a lot of other ones, because it's actually pretty like high fidelity. It's a shame the transmitter can't be a little bit better, but that's kind of a cool thing.
Wow, first the Chinese copy Mr. Softy, and now transceivers.
Hey, are you able to see my Twitch feed right now? I just tried to go to it from my phone, and it's just showing a black screen.
Buttons and goofy
crap.
Didn't buy anything like that, but this is a manufactured copy of somebody's design. Sort of like if the Chinese started building aircraft stuff, sort of, but the guy wasn't, like, it wasn't a company, it was just a ham guy playing around making these things.
Yeah, I changed it, but I misspelled amateur. It's amateur radio, but switched the E and the U around. AMATEUR radio. I'm looking into getting that changed. It's stupid.
contact their tech
Says you're offline.
Tell them, yeah, you run spell check and see what you get.
It says it's offline.
Yeah, AMATUER radio, right?
Yeah, it says it's offline. What the hell? I'm wondering, there's like nobody coming in here. Usually I get a couple regulars, and then I try going to it from my phone and there's something's not working here.
It says amateur radio is just chatting. There you go, I'm seeing something now. I see you. Okay. There's your head, and there's your fireplace, and there's a bottle of wine.
Okay, so it's working. Why the hell can't I load this from my phone?
It looks good though, very nice.
Thanks.
Man, I'm pretty strong over there.
Everyone's strong over here.
Billy's getting over 40 over now. You're over 40 over.
Bro, you sound fantastic.
No, I don't.
Yeah.
I do not have a radio. This is the screen modulated transmitter. How low can you go? I love doing like 10 hertz at 100% modulation and not worrying about a mod transformer. It's so cool.
Yeah, I can. When I do that, if I tap the microphone, my grid current like goes crazy. My grid current bounces around.
Yeah, and then there's the hand wave in front of the microphone. The hand wave in front of the microphone. The hand wave in front of the microphone. The hand wave in front of the microphone.
Cool. Yeah. Anyway, I'm gonna stop acting like a child.
Why start now?
I guess you're right.
Holy free RGM.
RGM?
Of which?
What?
Hey, go ahead, RGM.
What?
Go ahead, RGM.
RGM handlers, South Central PA.
Is that Kilo Alpha 3 Radio Golf Mexico? Okay, because over here he's okay.
Okay, just a second. Let's talk on camera. 315.
It's probably my hearing doing it, but this is Brett, W2BTK. I got other people's chorus. Alf was in there, I thought. And Billy and Perry and who knows?
Who? And when they left?
There he is. Hey, Alf. I'm in Voorhees, New Jersey, southern New Jersey, not too far from Philadelphia. On 300 watt homebrew transmitter into 80 meter dipole for about 45 feet. Listen to you on a homebrew receiver and looking at you on a Flex 5000.
Yeah, good evening to Rob and 1ALF, and good evening to oh, good lord, sorry about that. I think your name's Joe. I think that's what you said. My name's Perry, W3MMR over here in Chester, Pennsylvania, southeast corner of the state here. Running a SDR, Apache Labs Anon, Henry 3KD amplifier, homebrew balanced L network tuner, and a 600 ohm ladder line fed 80 meter doublet up 60 feet or so. What's going on, Rob? Rob's in here, and there's, I think if you've been listening, there's Billy and W2BTK, Clark, M1BCG, and a whole host of others. This is W3MMR.
Hello, everyone. And we left. Yep.
Lower part of Fairfield County, Greenwich, Connecticut, running a 1962 Saab with an overhead antenna there. Overhead and nothing else but a balanced dipole. And nothing else but a balanced dipole. And nothing else.
I'm operating a Kenwood 440S, pushing about $100 into a inverted 80-meter antenna.
That's a classic radio. I had one of those when they came out.
You're about 20 over S9 here right outside of Philadelphia, so you're making a trip here.
Yeah, you guys are definitely flogging the 9 on my meter.
Yeah, I guess, yeah, I'm doing that legal limit. I guess I should probably back it down a little bit.
Yep. Yep, I was just sitting there looking at the beam. If I could.
Yeah, real good. What's going on, Rob? Rob, what rig are you on? All right.
I was waiting for somebody to pick up on that. No, I was waiting for somebody to pick up on that antenna there. No, I was waiting for somebody to pick up on that antenna there. No, I was waiting for somebody to pick up on that antenna there. No, I was waiting for somebody to pick up on that antenna there. No, I was waiting for somebody to pick up on that antenna there.
Yeah, I heard the Saab thing, and I'm thinking, like, what's he talking about?
Yeah, Rob's a little too quick-witted for us sometimes.
I said that yesterday to somebody on the radio. Goes, Dan, that sounded pretty good for 62 there. Says, what else is you? What's your audio chain? And I'm like going to the guy and goes like, did he not catch on?
And you told him your sob story, huh?
Exactly. We used to race those up on our farm there, up on the reservoirs on the ice back in the days when everything used to freeze.
Remember those days?
Yeah, well, I'm cutting the lawn more than I shoveled snow this year. I think I forget how many times I already cut the lawn. I cut it Friday, the small stuff. Then I cut it Sunday. My grandchildren were over. They rode with me on the tractor. I looked at yesterday, and the stuff I cut Friday was grown already. And I looked today, and the stuff that I cut Sunday is grown already.
Yeah, somebody on my live stream just said I might be getting RF into my stream. Yay. I don't know.
I hate that when you pull over the side of the road and you get RF in your stream.
Yeah. Well, it'll happen when it rains out. Like every time I key up, my stream will drop out, but it doesn't seem to be dropping out right now, so I don't know.
Yeah, I wanted to do the green screen Sunday, but the boys came down in the daughter, so we got preoccupied. So we'll hook up someday. And I know you're off tomorrow, but that's your sleep day.
Yeah, but no, just if you get up early, message me when you get up.
Well, when I get up, you'll be going to bed. Well, I got to cut the big part of the lawn. I got to go to Home Depot there and grab a couple of things there.
Find my cat.
Let me see what the schedule is. If you're not, like I said, we'll do it. It's not a priority thing. And hello, neighbor. And hello, everybody down the band that's splattering there, like bacon in the pan.
There's a weak QSO on 3890, but I don't see anything below.
Yeah, but I know Bob's down there. I don't know. I forget who else is down there. Let me get I'm trying to see something real quick. Sorry. Let me for dead air. Seems okay right now. Oh yeah, I can see RF definitely getting into the video. That's for sure. I do see that. Yeah. Almost looks like cable TV RF.
I wonder if Joe N1VIP got his Yaesu fixed.
Who?
Joe. N1VIP out the AM carrying it Sunday mornings. He was having problems with his relay or something on his. I think he's got what, an FT 1000 Mark 5 or whatever.
Oh yeah, he was having that relay chattering issue.
Better that than teeth chattering. N1BCG. Good evening.
W2BTK.
So what's better, an FT 1000 Mark 5 or an FT 5000 Mark 1?
W3MR.
Well, the 5000, it's more. They had a display issue of the 5000s that were crapping out on them. I have the FT 2000D. It's the 200 watt version. I think the 5000 only came in the 200 watt version. The only problem that the 2000 had was RF getting into the second receiver there. I mean, you had to be a football field away from each one there, and Clark came up with it. They had to put a diode in there and stuff like that. And I forget what year Yaesu finally straightened it out.
What was the one that had 400 watts? That would be a 100 watt carrier. That's like a DX100.
That was the FT 9000. That was a big contest radio. That was a DX radio.
I thought, 400 watts. I thought that was kind of cool idea.
Yeah, so was the price tag. I forget what that was. It was like 15 grand at that time.
Great Zorks for a ham rig.
There's like ham. Which is the one that's like the special limited edition one? It's like 20 grand.
Yeah, I know there was some that was like 20 grand, and then, and then they're talking about like the 500 foot towers and all that, I mean, people got money to spend on this stuff.
But all they did was they were contesters. They only got on contests, and that's the only thing. And I've seen them over in Brazil, these huge towers on with turntables and stuff, but that's all these guys did. But you got to look at it this way. That was their hobby. Look at a guy that's got a $60,000, $70,000, $80,000, $100,000 boat that he takes out 3 times a month.
Yeah, guys do that with Harleys too. Spend a ton of money on it, and you only take it out a couple times a year.
Well, that happens when you get married.
Yeah, we get a lot of people at work, guys that are into classic cars, and especially over the years, man, people spend stupid money on car stuff. And like pales in comparison, like what we do here pales in comparison to what people spend on cars.
I work with a guy who's kind of into that, but he's real smart about it. He knows what everything is worth, and he gets it under the price. He does the work on it, then he sells it for something else. He makes a nice profit and does the same thing over again. He's not losing money on it, that's for sure. And he gets to fool around with a lot of really cool cars, and him and his son work on them. And it seems like if you got the facilities and all, it's a pretty good hobby.
Well, like I said, this is our hobby. So, we could spend a good kind of money on it. Same thing a guy with a motorcycle, classic cars, a boat, or whatever, It's a hobby. So, I don't doubt any of those guys that they spend that kind of money. That's what they enjoy,
Yeah, hookers and blow ain't cheap either.
N4RMT, I'm not sure his name. Let me put that in there. He's on my live stream. He's getting a super senior, his K7 DIY on Friday. And he's hoping to join us here soon.
What flavor did he get it in?
On that bandwagon, I think.
Well, at least with the K7 DIY, it's still a transmitter. It's, I guess if you're looking at, from that far, like say extreme, where it's got all these damn SDRs, it's not, quite as quote unquote high tech as an SDR, it's still just a transmitter, for 80 and 160 or 80 and 40.
Yeah, but it's so small. And then you get a little SDR receiver, and then you got like a killer shack.
Yeah, you can get the AirSpy HF Plus there for $200, and you're done.
4 KOE.
That's Philip.
Oh yeah, I hear that freaking loser Phil out there. God, what a loser that guy is.
Well, at least I'm not poor.
Anyway, hey, am I strapping this guy or what?
No.
No?
What a good household over there.
So Perry, we got a nutcase that headed out your way, huh?
What? I miss my clunks, man. I hear him going off in the other room, but nobody gets to hear him anymore.
Yeah, no more clunks.
So Billy, how do you control everything from the living room? What facilities do you have? Like, how do you look at the meters? How do you tune? Because how do you manipulate the apparatus remotely?
Well, I had to run a bunch of control lines over here to the living room. I've got several pieces of coax that take care of the scope pattern, the metering, switching. I mean, I had to run like a lot of stuff out to the living room. I remoted my receiver, my entire audio rack, my modulator, well, half of my modulator. What else? The metering, I think I said that. And that's about it. But, just a couple audio lines, a couple lines for control, a couple pieces of coax for receiver and metering, and then that's just about it. I was having a problem with the low-level audio signal going back to the modulators, so I decided to get rid of it. I moved the actual modulator into the living room, the Crown audio amplifier that I'm using to externally modulate this Johnson Viking 2. The same modulator that I use on my homebrew 810 rig that I built, push-pull 810s. And I'm sending it back to the transmitter room at high level, so it's not as susceptible to picking up crap. But that's basically it. And I got on before. I was had some RF in the audio, and it ended up being the line from my microphone to my processing rack. So I shortened up the balanced line going from the mic to that, and added some ferrite, and we're good to go. Now I just got some hums and buzzes and crap to deal with, but that's basically it. I set up my lazy boy recliner. I've got my standing desk. It's like a motorized desk, so I hit a button and it shoots up to standing height. And when I want to sit down, I hit another button and it comes down to my height, and it's nice, man. You can sort of check it out on my live stream. I'm on Twitch right now. The URL's all screwed up because I misspelled the word amateur, but what is it? Twitch.tv/amateur amateur radio, but amateur spelled wrong. It's spelled AMATUER. So you can see the remote position that I'm working. But yeah, I've got all the transmitters and crap gone. They're in the mechanical room, man, and I'm out here in my living room living it up. W2BTK, a young man doing AM radio, 34 years old, with homebrew stuff and antennas and I know all this crap. Very, very interesting stuff. Probably the kind of guy you would want to kick off of all your forums.
What a weirdo.
Alright guys, I gotta run. My sister's down the street trying to move a bunch of crap at my mother's apparently and just called me and asked if I can come help. So I gotta run down there. I'll catch you guys later. It's been fun, but I gotta run. W3 MMR. 7-3.
Alright, I'll give you a buzz later if it's not too late there. 7-3s, have a good one. Actually, you wake me up in the morning with your chime there, your military net that you're on.
Yeah, I've been sleeping in, man, so I'll get a hold of you tomorrow. 7-3, guys. Brad, it's good hearing you too, man. And get on more often. W3 MMR.
Yeah, how's your dad doing, by the way?
Oh, he's doing great. You know, still being my dad.
Oh, good to hear.
Okay. Yeah, he stays on every day. He's on every morning. I talk to him on here every morning. He's been doing a lot more early morning operating than getting on in the afternoons really anymore. Alright, I'm out. 7-3.
See ya.
I'll never get over that one.
I want to know where Clark went.
I am going through emails. N1 BCG, good evening.
So what's that on your tripod in the driveway?
I can't discuss that.
All right, shh. We'll talk about it later. We'll go under the cone of silence.
Shh. Be very, very quiet. Shh.
Somebody has a leaky tire.
You know, I found that always to be the best policy. Yeah, Rob, I'm surprised the fire department didn't show up over the weekend. The whole yard was filled with plumes of blue smoke and easily seen from the road.
Why? What did you light off?
I was getting that engine running. I think I put in too low a ratio of fuel and oil.
Bad mix, huh? A little too rich. I saw that in there. I said, oh, good. I showed Lynn. I said, Clark got his washing machine up and running again there. So, yeah, no, come on. I would have heard the call. I would have been going up there or calling you. Go, what's going on? Actually, you wouldn't have been answering the phone. You would have been probably stomping and rolling there and stuff like that and going for the garden hose. Did I give you a fire? I got another fire extinguisher here. I'll give you another one.
Oh, great. Yeah, you're the second person to talk about fire extinguishers with my messing with that engine. Hey, 1954, I'm so amazed that it runs, and it was frozen too. And considering what it took to get it unstuck, it was bad. I'm so thrilled that it runs. Now I'm trying to think like what the next step is. Well, yeah, the next step is putting it on the back of a skiff and, giving it a real marine test. But I'm just sort of mulling in the victory of it. I love that. Thing's 10 years older than I am. It's amazing.
Now wait a minute. What are you talking about? What kind of motor? What kind of motor is it? Because my brother-in-law and nephew are into that stuff, and they have like motors that are from lifeboats, from Liberty ships that was made in like the 40s that they kind of rebuild and stuff, and they're into that old marine stuff. So a motor from 1954.
Right. Years ago, quite a number. I think it had to have been more than 10. Easily more than probably 15 years ago. I was at a scrap metal yard, and sorry about that. And I saw this antique outboard engine, literally sitting on top of a pile of like sheet metal and other stuff, like not on display, but just like a pile of it, like a crane was going to come by and scoop it up. And I asked the guys at the yard about it, and they said, yeah, it's, we're going to melt it down for the aluminum. I'm like, oh my God. I ended up buying it for like $25. Well, I didn't do anything with it for a while because it was frozen. I'm like, oh God, who's got time for this? This will be a fun someday project. Someday was 12 years later this past fall. Anyway, it's a, sorry for the big lead-in, but anyway, that just sort of paints the picture of how did we get here. It's a 1954 Elgin, E-L-G-I-N, 2-horsepower motor, air-cooled, obviously one cylinder, and it was sold by Sears. There's a lot of pictures of that type of engine online, but anyway, yeah, so I got a lot of parts replaced on it back in the fall. I got it unstuck. Oh, and Rob, you'll appreciate this. Lots of soaking with a liquid wrench. That took days. It was actually more challenging than the Valiant. And took more pounding on the cylinder also than, because Valiant doesn't have cylinders. But anyway, got it unstuck in the fall, got it new magnetos, cleaned the points, got a new spark plug, got a bunch of new stuff for it, and then so this past weekend, I decided to mix some gas. 16-to-1 is what it takes, fuel to TC rated oil, and fire it up. And sure enough, it ran. I'll bet that's the first time that engine has run in probably a couple of decades. That's how incredible it is. And one BCG.
Was that Evinrude? It looked Evinrude blue.
Elgin, green. It's light green and dark green. I think those are the colors Elgin used.
Yeah.
We want to hear more about the pounding.
There was like in the 60s there. In A1 condition, he got it from a guy, and we don't know what happened to it up the barn at the farm there when my mother passed away. Mysteriously disappeared there. So yeah, I like those old classic motors, and they're worth a lot of money in good condition. They're still well sought after, so that's good. And well, I don't think people will be too happy. So too happy if you drop that in the frog pond.
Sorry, was that Brett?
No, but that's pretty cool. There's like my brother-in-law and nephew are into that. They have a whole collection of like really old outboards. Those things are pretty cool. Like they have some that are, the carburetor, the float ball was a cork, and the choke is like you push the cork down.
That's what Jim DHU said. Was it last night or recently? He was talking about something just like that. The float in this carburetor is a aluminum shaped donut. It's literally this tiny. It's about 1.5 inches round, and it's an aluminum. It's metal aluminum donut. And it's on a it's on a hinge so it can move. But yeah, it took a while to get the engine running, and I think part of the reason is that I put too little fuel in it, meaning that there wasn't enough pressure because the tank is over the carburetor, and there wasn't enough fuel in the tank to push down to sufficiently fill the carburetor. Because when I ended up putting more fuel in it, I put in like a cup. And I first started with half a cup of fuel, and then some of it stayed in the tank, some of it went down into the carburetor, and then there's a glass bowl underneath. I really like that feature. I don't know why more engines don't have that. A little half glass bowl at the bottom that you can take out, and you can see the gas in there. So anything, particles or junk, water, anything that's heavier than fuel, like dirt, will settle in the bottom of this glass bowl on the bottom of the carburetor, and you can see it. So if it ever gets all dirtied up, which I saw, you can turn the fuel valve off and then take that out and clean it. So it's a really neat motor. Yeah, I got to get it on the back of a small skiff and give it a try. Yes, in the frog pond, Rob. N1 BCG.
Old stuff was so cool. They have a big collection of all kinds of cool old stuff. Like they have an early electric motor that was designed to go on a sewing machine before sewing machines had motors. You had the pedals that you had to do. And this motor was made by the Edison Electric Manufacturing Company in New Jersey, and it had an adjustable speed thing, and it had these balls that the faster they spun out, it would slow it down. It was like the coolest thing, and they just don't make stuff like that anymore. Those glass sediment bowls for the fuel, all kinds of cool stuff you don't see anymore. It was amazing how they made some stuff work with such simplicity and ease of service.
Do I have it?
You're probably going to talk anyway. Clark will hear you. You plug the hell out of Clark's ears.
Yeah, I can't help it.
I can talk into a dummy load. He hears me. Hello, Billy. I grew up on those tractors, international tractors, all the way back into the 20s.
Can you hear me, Clark? Hello?
1972, best truck I ever owned. And we went up to our farm, and my truck was starting to sputter a little bit. So I looked up in the glass bowl, and I noticed a little foggy there, and a little debris in there. So went to my uncle. I says, is Napa still open down in the town, which was like 15, 20 miles away? He says, no, they already closed. He says, they closed when the post office closed, because the post office was in the back and the auto parts was in the front. He says, why? He says, the filter's crapping out on my Scout. He goes, we'll go over to the C tractor, the International C model. I go, why? He says, I just put a new one in there. That same filter that went in our farm tractor fit in the International Scout too.
And there you have it.
Clark, someday I want to have enough signal to get over Rob into your receiver. What would I have to do that?
Step 1, be unreasonable.
Well, what kind of signal does Rob have at your receiver?
Plenty. You don't need to get over Rob. You just need to sound good.
I want to try though. See, like Dave down in South Jersey, he's got his neighbor Mikey, and Mikey, he puts 50, 60 dB onto Dave, but I was able, because he's like down the street, but I was able to beat his signal a couple of times when conditions were just right. I'd like to attempt that with you.
Well, knock yourself out. I don't think it's necessary, but, if you're looking for stuff to do, then there's a project.
Well, how many dB down from Rob am I right now?
I don't know. I can measure it, but I've got the RF gain set so that everyone is coming in fine business. I think that these S meters have ruined people. There are some folks, it's rare though, but some folks who will make a comment, well, I don't have an S meter on this radio, but I hear you fine. You know what? There you go. There is raw, basic, down-to-earth, grassroots kind of hamming there, because you don't need a signal strength meter. Just like as basic as this engine is, that was restored. No frills. And yet there's something delightful about its simplicity. Same thing should apply to ham radio.
Clark's right. The magic I-tube signal strength indicator.
Oh, I have right here, I'm looking at it now, a Grundig from 1950. Oh, almost the same year, 53, I think, 1 year older than the engine, which has, and I've never seen this on any other receiver, but it's got a clover leaf. So it's an octal tube where the top faces towards the glass, the dial plate. So the top of the tube is got a round screen, and on the screen it displays four. When there's no signal, it looks like a 4-blade aircraft propeller, very thin. And then as the signal strength increases, all four of them become wider till they eventually fill the whole top area of the tube. Well, as the signal's increasing in strength, it looks like this 4-leaf clover. It's amazing. The tube on this radio, that radio was restored about 8 years ago, and I had to get a new one of those tubes. $80. Yep, $80 to get a new one. And but you know, you figure how often you replace something like this. And the radio was from my parents' wedding gift. Someone gave them that radio when they got married, so it's kind of like that sentimental reason. So what's $80, right? N1 BCG.
That's a nice radio. I seen that. And Billy, Clark is right. I got guys always, what's my signal report? I'm never looking at the meter. Like I said, if I can hear you, you're sounding good. If you're distorted, I'll tell you.
I like to be a little more scientific than that. It's just my nature.
Clark, Billy, you're 10 dB more than
the oil there.
For Rob. Perry was, you probably were stronger than Perry too, but not by a whole lot. 40 over on the, I guess it's a calibrated meter on the Flex 5000. Really strong signal.
Yeah, you're close. You and Perry are pretty close. I don't know. The thing about it is my antenna sucks. I gotta make it a lot better. But I'm kind of waiting, because if I do that, people might get pissed off.
But then you ruin it by being like off frequency by, I don't know, 500 hertz down or something. So when you do a double, it's like a heterodyne.
Yeah, I like that though. I didn't start off this far up frequency. I just got drifty tube crap over here. I had to walk into the other room. I could touch it up.
You need suspenders.
You get a real long chain and put it a sprocket on the knob so you can remote that.
Yeah, I thought about remoting the Viking into here, but that would have required like crazy amounts of stuff, you know, so I just left it in the other room. I gotta get my ass up when I want to change frequencies.
Stepper motor on the VFO knob.
Now you know how I felt before they had remote control at my parents' house. Get up and change the channel.
Remember that? My parents used to yell at me so much because we would grab that knob and go, like, you know, like especially like the UHF. You had to go from 17 to like 48. You'd be going, and they would say, no, turn it easy.
Man, Rob really thinks I'm like some piece of crap whippersnapper. I remember that. We had a tube TV in 1989 or whatever.
Double.
No, who won?
You did.
I had to see this scope. Oh no, I have plenty of modulation. Wow, that must be loud.
Yeah, you won, but it was like.
Basically, come on. This is ridiculous. If you're heard, you're heard.
Well, let me go see if I get on frequency.
I remember the analog tuners, and then they came out with a remote, and it was actually a motor that turned your tuning thing. I think it had wires. I think the earliest ones, the remote had wires.
I saw a remote on an old Buzzard TV. This thing had to have been from the early 60s, or maybe it was even the late 50s. And the remote had some kind of, like when you press the buttons, it would ring like a tuning fork, or like miniature tuning forks in there, or miniature audio tune circuits, but they were mechanical. And the TV would be listening for those sounds. So you'd press like the volume up or volume down buttons, and the TV could tell the difference between those two tones, and it would remotely control it with a motor. That was just bizarre, but I remember that vividly. We didn't have that TV at someone else's house.
I remember that.
I should be a little closer now. It's not perfect, but it's closer than it was. God, I just opened the door to that room, and it is so noisy in there. When I walk in there, I can't hear you guys, and it's like 90 degrees.
Well, at least it wasn't filled with flames.
True.
At least it wasn't filled with smoke. Well, that's being.
Hey, Bobby!
Hey, Billy, what you doing down there?
Oh, you know.
Oh, I didn't get to check out the stream today with the new setup. I had to do a double take. You changed the channel name on me. A little too generic.
Yeah, and I misspelled amateur. I'm wondering what the hell's going on, because I'm streaming right now, and like nobody is watching. Usually, like when I've streamed for this long, like over an hour, I'd have about 10 people in here. I think there might be like one person watching. I don't know what the hell happened.
Spell check is forcing them to a different channel.
I get a notification, and I normally get notifications from you. Like, I can't always be there for the whole stream, but I'll usually check it out. If I'm busy, I only look at it for a minute or two. If I'm not busy, I'll leave it going. But I did not get any notifications from you that you're streaming. That may be your problem.
Man, I'm sure it is. I don't know what the hell that's about, cause all I did was change my name. I gotta look into this further. This sucks.
I was watching for a while. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean, I'll go bring it up and take a look, but yeah, I definitely did not get a notification from you.
Yeah, that's BS, man.
It's an outrage.
Yeah, well, the signal's so strapping, you would think he would, he'd get a notification.
Oh, now he's going to get an angry Twitch.
Twitch is, I'm going to make up my mind about Twitch soon. If they can help me, because I rebranded my stream, right? I misspelled something. So if they're gonna punish me by making me wait 60 days, I mean, I gotta go stream somewhere else, you know, like I can't do it. So hopefully, like, they're pretty cool about it, and they'll help me, you know, fix my typo, and I can just get the ball rolling again, because I put a lot of work into this crap. I got almost 80 followers. I reached affiliate level on Twitch, so, you know, it's monetized now. That's not easy to do, and, like, what the hell, man? Like, if I'm gonna have to start over on Twitch, I'm not gonna do it on Twitch, you know what I mean?
You'll show them.
Not gonna show them, but I mean, it's just like, hey, look, they don't really, and I can't say this yet, but if they refuse to help me, then they don't have my back. But I'm not jumping to conclusions, because they could very well straighten all this crap out for me. And my other computer, the fans are ramping up to like turbo.
Hey, Billy. Oh, he's up from the chair. I can't answer.
No, I think maybe there's RF involved, and I don't know what the hell is going on with this computer, man.
Well, I checked on my feed, and there's definitely less lag, and the picture's a lot clearer. But I did go into the app, and you do show up there that you're streaming, but I usually always get a notification on my phone.
Yeah, it's pretty weird.
When I transmit, I take out my upload. Not my download, but my upload goes away.
Are you uploading RF?
I was told that, like, when you're downloading, you know, stuff is coming in, it's coming in like 100 megahertz or some other frequency, and then when you're sending stuff out on the cable system, that's a lot slower, and I do like 5 megahertz or something, but, I mean, it's 5 megabits or something, but I don't know. When I do a speed test and I transmit, the upload goes away totally, and the download still works mostly until the whole thing craps out.
Dude. Yo, my SDR computer's freaking out, man.
Let me try this again. I'm 1x3M1212. Just listening to myself on Billy's stream. Okay, there we go.
I hope this computer doesn't die. Thanks, PJ Pants. My CPU cooler fan is spinning the wrong way on this Dell. What the hell? I might have to restart this SDR computer. Jeez. And you know, now everybody starts watching. There's 6 people in here and starting to have problems. It's the way of the world. W2BTK.
So let me get this straight. You're saying your fan changed from suck to blow?
Jesus, did you? It's making like loud squealing noises too. This is crazy.
I heard that.
Dude, it scared me the first time I heard it. I was like, what the hell is that? But the CPU cooler fan is definitely spinning the wrong way on this stupid Dell. I don't know what to do. I might have to restart the computer, in which case, Jesus Christ, everybody who finally just came in here is probably gonna leave. But my God, hold on, let me try this.
Maybe you got a more Australian version of the Dell.
All right, guys. Sorry, I have to dump the SDR for a minute. The computer's having a lot of issues. If you can hang out with me for like a minute or two, we'll be back. Oh, look, see, somebody just left. You guys use the chat. I'll chat with you. It doesn't have to be boring. I'm gonna power cycle this computer now. And hopefully the CPU fan starts spinning the right way. Hold on. Oh man, I don't know what the hell's going on here. Hold on, the SDR will be back in however long it takes to boot Windows on this bootleg ass. Let's see, I'm running two PCs. I've got the good PC that I'm streaming on right now, and then this PC, it just runs my receiver for the ham radio stuff, and I'm having an issue or two. So y'all can see that thing booting up. The HF feed will be right back. Do you hear that? Oh my God, man. This computer's gonna die, man. yeah, holy fuck squad is right. Well, here's the welcome screen. Windows is gonna boot. And how did my camera get out of focus? That's not good. Dude, that is a death rattle, but it's just the stupid CPU fan. I mean, I'm sure I have some stuff laying around I could replace it with, but I'm on the air right now. All right, machine booted. That's good. Fucking woo! This is tasty. I've had a lot of technical issues today, man. Like, it's no small thing. I'm bringing you guys a ham radio feed with no ham radio right now. See, I clicked, oh, that screen's all whited out, but I clicked the SDR program, and it should be loading, but it's kind of not. The computer's not frozen. Holy crap. Oh, I hear relays clicking. That's a good sign. And my receiver. Oh, okay. Okay. Now I need to open OBS. It's one thing at a time. Oh, God. This thing might. Oh, yeah, it locked up. Jesus. Oh, because I have two instances of it.
As my fellow American
Okay.
radio operators.
The receiver's back online, but. I don't know if I could deal with this right now. There. I just punched it as hard as I could and it shut the hell off. Dude, sorry, guys. Oh, yeah. You know what's great about this? I don't have a keyboard hooked up to this fucking piece of shit. Alright, I'm gonna disappear for 30 seconds. Get a keyboard. Just chill. Fuck me, man. Oh yeah, I punched the fan. Look. That's what I get. I'm not having a very fun time with this, I gotta say. And I'm bleeding. So let's give this thing a little more time to boot. I think I definitely got a little bit hasty. I'm actually really gushing here. Don't punch computers when they don't work. It doesn't help. I learned that today with science. So okay, Windows 7 Ultimate piece of crap welcome screen. Alright. The thing booted. I'm gonna wait for all the desktop icons to populate. There's the hello Windows sound. You guys are fucking saints. I can't believe you're still watching. Having all these technical problems. I'm gonna bring you the ham radio as soon as I can. Oh my god. Oh, I fucking killed. Look, blue screen of death. Dude, I don't know, guys. This is fucked. Hey, yo, Ellers, man. Bro, thanks for the bits. That's fucking sweet. I'm struggling over here. You hear this fucking computer? This just started today. Fuck you! Fuck you! Yo, 7290, what's up? This is lame. His crap don't work. I'm out. Yep, that's pretty much the gist of it. I'm sorry, man. I'm really sorry. Ooh. I hate this computer right now. You know that? Maybe it'll just die. Yeah, I think the computer just locked up, like dead. The CPU fan just stopped, and it's frozen on the boot screen. Jesus Christ. I mean, is this going to turn into like a computer repair stream? I don't know. It's fucked up. Totally fucked up. Computer, you are fucking me in the ass right now. No, you know what? The CPU fan fucking quit. Oh, I can't run this thing without a CPU fan. Break out the NC300. Yeah, Alright, hold on. I'm going to try to start Windows with no CPU fan. Well, I go look for a CPU fan. I guess. Fuck me. Hold on. I might have something. And look, I'm not having a good time either. Look, I'm bleeding. I punched my CPU. Let me go grab I think I have a fan laying in the other room. All right. Fuck. Oh, these computers suck, man. All right, I found a fan, but it's too big for this CPU cooler. But I might be able to just like, real quick, plug it into the header. I know I'm having terrible luck tonight. But I'm doing like computer repair stuff live. So it might be interesting. What do I need? A screwdriver. Get a screwdriver, Bill. All right, hold on, guys. Here, I'm fucking.
Guess what, bitch? Coronavirus! Woo, woo, woo!
This is where I used to stream from. In here. All right. Son of a bitch, man. Son of a bitch. All right. Here, come up here. I'm gonna go ahead and remove this. Oh God. Oh, they make it hard on you. I can't use this fucking screwdriver. I need a little tweaker screwdriver. Oh, here's one. This computer is on right now, by the way. And I think all right. Oh shit. I just dropped a screw onto the motherboard. Did the computer just crash? Oh, it did. It totally locked up. God damn, man. Hey, Bob. Thanks for the... Oh, did you just subscribe, Bob? Holy shit, man. Yo, thank you. That's fucking awesome. All right. This computer just locked up. I'm not surprised. Hey, yo. Perry, man. Thanks, bro. Fucking subscriptions and shit. All right. Hold on, boys. I got... Jesus Christ. I need more light, man. Fucking... I'm gonna, like, jank up this CPU cooler and try to get on the air. How's this header work? Oh, I see. There we go. All right. There's the offending fan. What'd you just do, Bob? You subscribed. You subscribed to my channel. Bad fan. See, they're different sizes though. The big one is the one I'm gonna throw in there and like hope to friggin' God that it works. This is a 4-wire fan. This is only a 3-wire fan. I don't know if it's even gonna work. I don't think it'll even go in there. Dell with its proprietary shite. Alright, man. I just laid the fan on top of the CPU heatsink. We're gonna see if we can get this computer to boot. Fuck me, man. Oh, Jesus. fan is spinning. The new fan I just installed is actually spinning. Windows. Oh, you can't see Windows right now. Here, come on back down here. So Windows is trying to boot. CPU fan is spinning. Oh gosh. This looks promising. Please wait. Welcome. Thing might be running faster. Dude, if I could get this computer to work and I actually get back on the air right now, that'll be some shit. Cross your fingers, boys. Oh, this is fucked up. What was it? First, my transmitter was squealing. Now my receiver's all fucked up. My Twitch name is misspelled. All right. Wow, this thing is it's actually booting faster than it did before. So I'm going to open OBS so that I can send this monitor over here over the network. And if that boots fine, I'm going to try to open the SDR program, man, and hopefully this shit works. I don't know what to say. Installing device drivers. Do your thing. Wow, there's actually people coming into the stream. So I just had a major computer crap out. My CPU cooler fan like died midstream. I replaced it. We're trying to open programs now, but the computer's not locked. But it doesn't seem like it's doing anything. I tried to open OBS. And it didn't do anything. Oh my god. I'm gonna click it again. OBS is already running. Okay, cancel. Well, where the fuck is OBS? I don't like this, man. Oh, fuck me. Is something happening? Oh, I see little hourglasses and crap. Oh, there it is. There's OBS. Okay. Failed to authenticate with Twitch. I don't care. I just want you for NDI output. All right. OBS is running on this stupid thing. Cross your fucking fingers. Here we go. Hold on to your butts. We're going to open SDR sharp. This thing... fucking... This is a nightmare, man. Yo, man. This is a nightmare, man. Yeah, it's better, right? Oh, kinda. Alright. So I clicked SDR sharp like 60 seconds ago. Nothing's happening yet. Last time I did this, I clicked it twice and it crashed. So, oh, I see an hourglass. Come on, baby. Oh, I hear my receiver clicking. There's relays clicking. Dude, we might be back on the air. Oh. Fuck yeah, dude. That should be up on the screen now. Okay, sick. NDI is working. Guys, I think I just fixed my computer. Let's fucking go! Woo! Yes! Dude, that was some fucked up shit. You gotta go. Oh, Bob. Hey, man. I'll catch you later. Thanks for hanging out with me, man, while I do all this bullshit. I'm back on the air, though, and everybody's gone. All right. Let's see what's up. So I fixed my computer. Where'd everybody go?
I think they all ran away.
Dude, that was the most screwed up thing ever. The CPU cooler, the fan on my CPU cooler on my SDR receiver rig died. It was making like loud squealing noises. The computer was locking up and overheating. I ran in the other room, got a new fan, replaced it, and hopefully this thing holds together and doesn't run too hot, because the CPU cooler fan is lifted off the CPU heatsink about like a quarter of an inch or maybe 3/8 of an inch. So not ideal, but it seems to be holding together. Wow, what an ordeal. W2BTK computer repair stream.
Real good. You better get that straightened out or else the processor is going to go to heaven. NAQPC.
Yeah, it's like an old Core i7 slow-ass 20-something. It's not a very hip processor. I think I got this machine off eBay for about $80 with no hard drive. I just threw a hard drive in it. It doesn't sound like the fans are turboing up too much, but I'm sure they will in a minute. Maybe I can build myself like a little shroud for this thing. But, ugh. I got this station back on the air. That's remarkable.
Yeah. Well, I ain't got no computers on this station. Definitely not. NC303 and a Johnson 500. It's pretty archaic.
Yeah, you're doing it right. I love my SDR receiver. It's the best. Got a lot of firepower. You can notch people out, this and that. But I have to run 2 computers with this setup. One for streaming, one for the SDR. And damn, I didn't think I'd be troubleshooting that crap tonight, but I did.
You know, I was chained to a computer at work for, about 22 years. All I did was programming key machines, write programs for other people to run. Sometimes I'd run them, or else I was drawing changes into dies, or just drawing whole dies. And then I retired from Bud, and I went over to Chrysler's, and they wanted to know what I wanted to do, and I said, I just want to go back to being plain old die maker. And now, they tried to get me to go on into programming and running the big
man, thank you so much for the subs, bro. That's
I'm a happy idiot.
That's good stuff. Yeah, I don't know anything about programming for the most part, but I know enough about computers to like troubleshoot them a little bit. I just built my first PC with what I get, this new AMD processor, the Ryzen 7. It's pretty slick, but this SDR machine is a real piece.
W9WOO, how be you, Gary? Yep. Let me see. Yep. Gary Fry.
I'm using, well, the software I'm using is SDR Sharp. And the actual SDR that I have is an RF Space SDR IQ.
I texted him earlier today, and he texted me back. He said he was going to call me. Then he didn't call me, and I told him I'd put him on the band, and I ain't got him. Shoot him a text, tell him to get his ass on the band. I don't want to leave the other fella hanging here. Come on back in here, man. I'm sorry as hell. I didn't write your call down. I got a mind like a steel sieve.
Oh, I don't think it gave my call. I just kind of, I was talking to a couple of guys here on 3885, and then I had some computer problems, so I went off the air for a minute, and now they're all gone, and I'm back. This is W2BTK, Bill in New Jersey.
W2BTK. Shit. Wasn't that bind, torture, and kill?
Yeah, bind, torture, kill, bring 10 kilowatts, but really it's just for my old CB handle, which was Billy the Kid. So I figured I'd make my old CB handle my ham call sign, you know?
Yeah. What was that guy's name? Was the killer? That was the thing. I can't remember what it was. Was it Son of Sam?
No, that was it, the BTK killer, but I didn't even know about that guy when I made this vanity call. I found out about that afterwards. I just chose it because Billy the Kid.
Well, Gary's out there. W9WOO. Gary, come on back in here and introduce yourself. And turn up your audio a little bit. You got good signal, but your audio is not a lot low.
Oh, man, cheers. That was Oh, hey, yo, Hot Glass, what's up, man? Yeah, I'm back. I got a new setup, man. Tons of problems with it, too, which are fun. You see me, I just replaced my CPU cooler on screen because my SDR computer crapped out. Hey, are you guys getting notifications when I go live? Because it didn't seem like they were getting sent out since I changed my name.
Yay. Journals.
You get a couple of Midwest stations out there, Timmy. I can't hear the guys talking right now very well.
I didn't hear anybody.
It's a 9, I think it's W9WOO.
There's a couple other people in there wanting frequency. Once you go up and let them hit it. Go ahead where it wants it. I hear it turn it up and low.
You hear those guys, Timmy?
Yeah, I just put the array on. I hear somebody else in there, but all I was hearing was you.
Well, they must not have any information. That sounds like they want to show up.
Yeah, it is. I'm hearing you. I changed antennas.
I was talking to Gary at W9WOO down there in Gary, and they must not have a path.
Yeah, probably not.
Well, Timmy, I'm operating from my living room now, man. I did it. I finally got everything changed over. It's all my transmitters and crap that makes noise and heat are behind a door, behind a wall, behind me. And it's nice and quiet and nice and cool in here. I got all the RF out of my audio lines and all that crap. I just had a computer crop out that I had to fix real quick to get back on the air, but it's working, man. I'm very pleased with my new operating position.
Well, I'll tell you, it's a backdrop of silence. No kids, no lids, no hums, no farts and bangs. You're right there.
Yeah, this is what I'm going for. I got a little bit of a buzz and a hum in there. I've got a 60 cycle buzz from the modulator, and then I've got an intermittent hum from the amplifier, which, they show up from time to time. But this is about as ironed out as this whole setup has been. I'm running the YC156. Pretty well, I'm running it right now, Timmy. And I've got the big air handler on top of the amp, and you can't hear a damn thing. This is all new to me. It's like luxury operating. I'm actually sitting in a Lazy Boy recliner right now.
Oh, you got a lazy bastard recliner, eh?
Oh, hell yeah. I prop myself up on the armrest of it when I'm using the computer and stuff, and then when it comes time to sit back and listen to like an old buzzard or something, I kind of slink down into the Lazy Boy part and chill out there. And then the other nice thing I've got going with this setup is the desk I put in is variable height, so it's got two motors in it. I can hit a button and it comes down to sitting height, and I can hit a button again and it goes up to standing height, so I can stand up and operate and be at the operating position standing, which is nice because sometimes I get real tired of sitting when I'm out here for a long time. Major upgrades over here at W2BTK.
Why, I guess that is pretty major league. I wish I could say the same. Yeah, I've been through two of my receivers here, the SX62 and my R388.
Hey, thanks, Dave.
The R388 on 40 meters for some reason or other was rather numb. It could be an alignment problem, but I put a different front end tube in the thing, and it's working a whole lot better. I have a better set of ears there, and then my SX62 had a number of things that I wanted to change. And today I spent the whole afternoon making changes, and every single one of them is successful, and I got the sensitivity way up on the higher bands, so now the thing actually hears, and the step-start warm-up is, slower and like I'd want it to be, and a number of other things, So, it's been a productive day here. Well, I'm not going to stay around there too long. I'm dead tired. I was on the telephone on a buddy of mine for about an hour and a half. I'm played out. I'm ready for bed. I think it was W9WOO in Gary, Indiana as well, and there's some other piss weaker in there that I wasn't hearing. This W818 and LR.
Somebody transmitting?
I don't hear anybody.
All right. I thought there's a carrier there, but I can't hear him. I don't want to be rude, but That's good stuff. It's real radio stuff, working on soft starts and all that. I know I learned all about those. I built a power supply for my 3000 and I never ended up using it. But that has a soft start, and I ended up using an IC, a 555 timer for the delay, which sucks. There's way better ways to do that. But yeah, sounds like you've been busy. I've been very busy. You know, it's a big, really good learning experience, man. Remoting the studio from the transmitter site. A lot to overcome. I turned it on and it didn't work for worth a damn. So I had to do like a lot of stuff to get this running. I was in the air before with hellacious buzzes and bangs and pops and everything, but I got it all ironed out. I'm running obscene power right now, and it's working, man. And I can finally old buzzard at this power level because I've got that giant air handler on top of the amp now, which you can't hear because it's behind my stone fireplace behind a closed door. Good stuff, right? W2BTK.
Yep. Well, that's a good thing. Yeah, you're done good. Yeah, I thought I heard somebody come in there underneath. I don't know if that was W9, WOO, or somebody else. I don't think you heard me. I didn't know if I was a piss weaker. No, you're not a piss weaker. No, there's somebody else in there that's a piss weaker that I can detect, but not enough to copy. Anyway. Hi, John. I can hear W9WO. I can hear you, and I can hear Tim. Tim can't hear you, W9WO. You guys ain't got a pass. See, 100 watts or 80, 90 watts. This thing's gonna get it all the way up to main. No, I'm hearing him here. He's a little weaker than you, John, but he's Q5. I did. Yeah, that's all I got going here is about 120 watts or so, low power.
Well, I hear you. I thought it was once upon a time you sent it over to me.
This is KF4WBG, Kilo Foxtrot 4, Whiskey Delta Delta in Fairfax, Virginia.
So yeah, you're sounding good here in Indy.
Yeah, well, you're doing better, and John, good to hear you, and Billy, W2BTK. I'm going to sign out. I didn't really intend to get in here for any length of time. I'm about ready to fall over from being tired. It's been a long day for me, and you know, I've had enough problems with not getting enough sleep, so I want to try going to bed and see if I can manufacture some Z's, or else I'd be hanging in here, but I'm not. So see you guys later on. To you, John. And maybe I'll catch you sometime earlier in the evening if I'm around. So, NHPC WA1H and LR, and I'll be listening out.
WA1HLR and a QPC. Well, maybe you'll be doing the 3 o'clock thing. They stop by once in a while. I'm usually by the radio. I may not be saying nothing, but I'm working in here usually. Real good, Tim. Get you some sleep. Old folks need their sleep. I'll put it on you later. Take care. 73. WA1HLR and a QPC.
Yeah, we'll see you later, Timmy. Nice hearing you out here. I've been off the radio a couple weeks, and I missed you, pal. Well, hopefully we'll get to catch up soon. Some night when you got a little more energy and all that good stuff. I went back to work. I didn't work today, and I might not have a lot to do this week, but it's gonna ramp up soon. So take it when I can get it. But it's good to hear you, Timmy, man. I really did miss talking to you.
Yeah, me too. It's been kind of quiet. Been doing other things, so we'll see you guys later, and we'll, of course, pick it up. This is WA1H and LR.
And,
I don't think W2BTK, I don't think he can clear me, but I'm hearing you just fine now, W9WOO.
yeah, W9WOO, I hear you. It's a little up and down. You're kind of on the fringe, but I hear you. As long as the static crashes don't jump up too high, you're in there. I kind of gotta put my listening ears on though. I'm doing bad things right now, so I'm not surprised you hear me okay. A little bit of an alligator tonight.
KF4WDD. KF4WDD.
Hey, KF4, stand by.
Give it a little bit more juice. But you're coming in just fine here, isn't you? So, okay, W2BTK, W9.
And I heard a KF4 station in there. I'll pass it over to you. But yeah, WOO, your SNR here in New Jersey is about 30 dB over the noise. So your carrier is nice and strong. It's just sometimes that modulation gets a little swallowed up by all the crap. But you're doing pretty well. Let me pass it over to the KF4 station. And I'm sorry I forgot the suffix. But it's all yours. This is W2BTK in New Jersey.
New Jersey and everybody, this is Kilo Foxtrot 4, Whiskey Delta Delta, first name is Ben, Bravo Echo November in Fairfax, Virginia. We're floating here from New Jersey into Virginia, sounding very nice and clean and strong, plus 30 dB.
Hey, Hot Glass, man, I'll see you later, man. Thanks for stopping by. I'm going to try to be streaming a little more now that I got all this crap set up. So, I'll see you soon. You're sounding pretty good in New Jersey from Virginia. Again, a little low, but you know, this is such as conditions tonight. I should probably decrease my power level, but hey, it is what it is.
Very good. Well, I don't want to interrupt, but appreciate the opportunity to try AM for the first time, and I'm glad I'm readable in New Jersey for UBC, and I'll take a step back, and this is KF4 WDD saying for equal. Thanks.
Yeah, man. Well, don't be a stranger. I mean, I hear you just fine. Are you W9WOO is out there, and I think another guy. How are you hearing? How are you hearing him?
He's down in the noise for me. He's down in the noise for any QPC. Right at the noise floor, I can hear every third word, you know what I mean? If I hear that.
I'm not hearing anything from him. W9WOO.
Hey, did you text Lou?
Unfortunately, the only person I can hear is
What did you say? Did I get it?
Yeah.
so much.
No. Okay, I can. You think he's up right now?
I don't know, man. You know better than me.
I don't know. I haven't talked to him for a long time. I know once upon a time he was big and it was a real good down there, and took it to another frequency, and frequency I can get on. I had to do too much to get on that particular mode, and after that I didn't hear from him ever since then. It's been like a week. So yeah, about a week and a half. So that's what I came and asked you. Have you heard anything? QPC 39WO.
Like I said, I texted him earlier today, but he answered me and he somebody called me and I told him I'd catch him on the air. But anyhow, I'll text him, see if he's gonna get on the air. Any QPC, I'm not quiet.
Okay, and QPC, W9WOO. You got a wonderful system here. I guess, propagation to W2 over there in New Jersey is just not in our favor. But, alright. W9WOO.
Well, man, I'm actually starting to feel some heat from, well, I don't know, the house might just be heating up, but I opened that door to the transmitter room and it's like, it's hot in there.
Well, BTK's got good signal over here. I hope you're hearing me all right.
Yeah, you're like the channel master.
About all that. I work on Johnson, that's it. But my dipole he's got to be about 26 feet off the ground at the middle. It's almost dragging on the sidewalk.
Yeah, well, your SNR over here in New Jersey is about 40 dB above the noise, so I'm not having any problem hearing you. And there's something to be said for those low antennas, man. My antenna's pretty low. It's not that low. I think the feed point is about, it's between 35 and 40 feet over here, which is somehow like just, I don't know how it works, but it gives me like a mega local signal, you know, and especially when the band starts changing and crapping out, I can usually hang in there with my locals a lot longer than the guys that are running dipoles up like a lot higher, like twice as high as mine or more. So low dipole is good for some stuff, but I don't think it's helping you talk to me right now. But it's working. Like I said, you've got a 40 dB SNR. You're 40 dB above the noise. That's not an S meter reading. I don't even have an S meter, but it just means I hear you, man. I definitely hear you. W2BTK.
W2BTK and AQPC. Yeah, you're a good 40 over here. I mean, you just, as they say on the repeater, full quieting. Yeah, well, I'm on a real small lot in the city. It's 50 by 126 feet. And my rear runs from the front to the back of the lot. Up on the ends, and I went up as high as I can without the city calling up my ass. And it flags down in the middle, and it's being fed with 600 ohm open wire line. And I love my open wire line. I would never go back to coax and the bell, and you can keep that choice. It just don't work out really well. This antenna really smokes on 40. It works great on 40, man. It's a gain antenna on 40. I tune up and plays all the way across the whole banner and never even have to retune that. I'm surprised that it's like that. But anyhow, yeah, no problems out of Jersey. No problems out of, what the heck is, I can't even think of my singer's name that comes from New Jersey.
Bon Jovi?
No, I was going to say it's Bruce Springsteen country.
Oh, yeah, no, that's what I meant. Bruce Springsteen. Yeah, the boss.
The boss. The union hater.
Yeah.
I used to like him until I heard that, how much he hates unions.
I was never that big on Springsteen, but he's definitely got some hits, man. He's got some good stuff. Just, not quite my cup of tea. I like that song Thunder Road, though. I used to work at Radio Shack, like, years and years and years ago, and that song would come on from time to time, and it kind of hyped me up. I don't know what it was about it, but I would get real hype when Thunder Road would come on.
I like some of his old stuff better, like The River or My Hometown.
Yeah, I'm kind of like a music head. I have a degree from Berklee College of Music for music synthesis, so I mean, I was on track to just be like a professional musician / studio engineer, and like really, really into it. I've got my degree, and I ended up getting out of the music industry and becoming an electrician, believe it or not. But it was mainly just because I was working a lot of cash gigs, crappy hours, and I started to think like, this is cool. Like I was in like my 20s. I could do this. I'm 20. This is a great gig. But then I started thinking like, what the hell am I gonna do when I'm like 65? And all I've ever done is work for cash and this and that. So I got myself hooked up in the electrical workers union, and now when I go to work, I'm building a future, and there was no future with what I was doing before, so it's sad. I loved it, man. I used to mix live bands and do all that stuff, but whatever. Now I twist wire nuts, and I've got a retirement plan.
I forgot about you. Oh, I'm just over here listening. No,
like I said, both of y'all sounding great over here. I'm receiving. That's one thing about this Japanese rig. It's received. Everybody 20 plus over here, so I can only match the signal with that. But other than that, yeah, I'm gonna go with an open line. Well, I think I'm probably gonna order one, right? Order one, and I got a couple tuners over here I can try. And got a lot of things I want to do on my tower too, because I got some put a tri-bander on top of the 60-foot crate tower where the feed point is of my inverted beam. So it will be does wonders for me. My goodness. So but yeah, I know you didn't forget about me. I'm just over here listening. So back to you. And I texted our friend and told him what we were doing, and haven't heard anything back. So back to you. You need the QPC W9WOO here in W9WOO for the QPC. We sounded good. Yeah, you know, at W2BTK, you know, it's funny, I wanted to be an electrician in the worst way. And when I got out of high school, I went to Rex Electronics school. And I could not get into an electrical apprenticeship for the life of me, but I fell into a tool and die apprenticeship, so I took what I could get. And that was the story of that. But I went on, I finished the program at Rex Electronics. Now I got an associate's degree in electronics. Then I went on and I got a degree in NC programming to go with the journeyman tool and die maker's card. And they got me off the floor and sit in the office, and I'd be stuck in front of a friggin' computer all day, making programs to make stuff work. And it was okay, but I don't love sitting in front of the computer anymore. Anyhow, I just got a text from a friend of mine that he told me he was looking on. I'm a BTK. I'm a tube head though. I love my tube audio gear. Well, I don't know if you appreciate it, if you're a digital guy or if you like tube audio. Tell me about it.
Well, getting into it when I did, you know, you just don't see tube stuff in the professional setting. It was all cutting edge, you know. We would bring out large scale PAs and set them up, and you don't want to deal with like the tubes and fragile. We're throwing this crap into the back of trucks. We had Crown solid state amplifiers, the Macrotech line, man, Crown Macrotech 5000. What an awesome amp that is. But yeah, it was all solid state stuff. The guy I was working for most of the time, he was a big analog guy, so all his desks, his mixing boards were for the most part analog, and he owned a couple of digital ones that we would mainly only use for theater production, because, you know, in a theater you've got multiple scenes, and then there's a cast of like 17 mics that come up for one scene, and then the next scene there's 8 different mics, you know, all these RF mics. And to be able to sit there on a digital console and just recall a scene with all the crap, it was like the only way to do it with the theater stuff. But as far as like concerts, talking head, this and that, yeah, it would use large format analog consoles, but, you know, solid state. It was all solid state, and you know, that was pretty much it. But I love digital. I know a lot of guys hate on it, but that's kind of old school, because with high sample rates, we've got 96K, 192K. The truncation of the waveform that happens is so minute. I mean, there's so many samples. You can really pretty accurately reproduce stuff, and it doesn't sound bad anymore. So I'm a big fan of it. And then the ability to use DSP is just it in my opinion kind of blows the analog stuff out of the water. And then if you miss like that analog warm sound, you can use convolution DSP to literally mimic the analog circuits that that have that favorable warm distortion to them, and you can use convolution DSP to just make it sound like that in the digital domain. So there's just a lot more firepower, and I tend to lean towards digital stuff. But as far as all my radio gear, it's all tube VFO, plate modulated exciter, tube final, so I'm a big tube guy. But when it came to like going out to a place in a professional capacity and setting things up and charging money, we brought out solid state gear and digital stuff, and that's just how it is. But yeah, there you go. W2BTK.
W2BTK.
Hey Chip, what's up, man? Welcome to the stream.
Tube heads, they usually got a tube head on your guitar amp or your bass amp, and then they stick a mic in front of it or take low level off it. If you go back over to the board, I know all the sound reinforcement is done with solid state. Crowns are kind of like the workhorse of the industry. I don't know if they still are. Crowns and Sons. I got a couple old workhorses. Excuse me, for industrial stuff, I got old phase linear 400s, and they make some good sound pressure, but all my stuff that I listen to for myself was, I'm pretty stuck on Mac, 240, I got a 230, I got the Scott LJ150, everything I got is old tube stuff. I like my tube. I guess I got analog ears. Alright, I ain't nothing wrong with that. It to each his own, but that MA230 has a hell of a integrated amplifier. It had an FET front end on it. Sounds good. Anyhow, let's hand it on over to Gary. W9WO NAQPC.
Okay, I hear in GTO, man, I ain't heard that voice in about a week and a half. My goodness. Doesn't recognize N9 GTO down south of me, down there in I would call the bluegrass corn state area over down there. We got Silver Friend Quarter Pounder Cheese, NAQPC, and then we have W2BTK in New Jersey. So I'm gonna send it over to GTO, N9 GTO. This is W9WOO here in India.
And the fan finally came back. I was starting to get the blues. I was hearing Billy on the SDR, and I thought, well, I'm trying to log into this room right now. I got to put this in code here, so there we go. Now straightened out. Hello, guys. Hello, Billy. Just logged in just now and sent you a message. But anyway, glad to hear you guys. And, yeah, everybody's doing good. Going back to work tomorrow, so I'll be able to play radio a little bit. But I'm glad to hear I like Billy's station over there. He's got it going on. Looking good, Billy. I like it.
like the new name of the thing and the new setup. And I like all that. Looking good, my friend, looking good. And hello W9WO, and hello my friend W2BTK. I was getting withdrawals, and he texted me and said get on, so I'm on the 7700 for the little ALAB bedroom. I got my laptop in my hand, we're laid back in the bed, and listening to the radio. I'll throw it up there to you, Bill. It's your turn to burn. N9GPO, take it up, Billy.
All right. Hey, Louie, nice to hear you out here. Yeah, I've been off the air for a week or two. I ended up, as you can see, I put together a new setup, but at the same time all that was happening, I actually went back to work. So I don't think I'm working this week, but the last couple weeks I've been pretty busy. So yeah, just having fun. I've got all the transmitter crap in another room away from where I'm operating, and it's really nice, man. So I won't tie it up too long. I'm gonna send it right back around. This is W2BTK in New Jersey.
Take it up, cheeseburger. Hey, man, how come you ain't on that big rig, man? Are you bedridden again? Did you screw around and get sick and bedridden again? Now you better not. I'm older than you, and I'm up going to work every day. You need to get yourself better. You need to take some Vitamin or some Geritol or some sort of crop like that. We ain't got no time for you to be getting sick. Ain't got no time for none of that laying around shit. I hope you ain't got polio or something. I don't know. GTO, you sound good. Let's send it on back out. I guess I know whose turn is it. I guess it's W9WO's turn. Pick it up, W9WO. Yep, since he didn't, I will. But anyway, I just, with all the farms and stuff, I had to go and work on the air conditioner down at the farm, and the wife was demanding that me and her finish the garden today, and oh my God, ran into a big old snake in the garden, had to do it, and then, so I was just going on and on. I got a 10 by 20. It's got the treated lumber, 4 foot on center, and got a canopy, and got the netting that keeps the goose from getting in there, any kind of wild animals or anything. So, got the tomato plants and everything all going good, and she's, just this. And so I was doing all the orders, and I figured, well, tomorrow to really enjoy it. I think I was going through withdrawals knowing you had to go back to work. And I think that was kind of one of the things why I was, knowing Billy was going back to work, you were going back to work. I was catching the N1BTK show. It seemed like, for some reason or other, well, I used to hear 3 or 4, but the band, I had to wait until like 5 or 6 or 7 to hear, through the SDR, 3SEF.com, to listen to the guys. I normally hear 3 or 4 since it warmed up, so it really changed everything. So it threw the timing all off, but I'm glad to know that our 10 o'clock thing is still going on, because I can hear Billy good, and I can hear everybody good. So let me see if W9WO's out there. Did you go see a man in a horse, dude?
I sure did. Yep, stopped by the kitchen and fed the chickens and did all kinds of things. Yeah, I didn't think it was coming back to me. I know Billy the Kid had it, and then I thought Billy the Kid was going to give it to John.
I didn't think I never had a little time, but other than that, sounded good. And I was wondering what was going on with you. I didn't hear back from you for about a week. And I know the last thing you were saying that you met A4XRP. I believe you met him and to grab his one of his projects, and that's the last thing I heard, and that was it. So glad to hear you. So I don't know who it goes to. I think it goes to back to you, N9GTO. I believe you sent it over to BTK. This is W9WOO here in Indy. It goes to Billy.
Oh, it's back to me? Well, yeah, I'm just hanging out. Got a couple people in the chat. Hey man, it's nice to be back out on the radio. I haven't done this in a couple weeks. I missed it, man. But I don't know how much longer I'm gonna stay out here. It's you guys are coming in okay, but it's like a lot of static crashes and stuff, and there's a good chunk of distance between us, and the band is not so great, but you know. In fact, yeah, you know what? I'm probably gonna just listen out over here for a little while, because I find myself drifting in and out of the conversation, which probably means it's about time to think about going to bed. But yeah, you guys are all doing great. It's nice to hear you out here, and work some people that aren't like 2 calls and 3 calls. It's nice. But I'm not exactly sure it's supposed to pass it to Jimmy or whoever. But yeah, that's about that. So I guess I'll say 7-3, and I'll be listening out for a little bit here. This is W2BTK in New Jersey.
You sound good over here, man. It was a pleasure. I'll speak to you when I can, and I heard you say there's some people in the shack, a couple people, and I hope that y'all having a good time over there. And with that, I'll bid you adieu. Well, good. It's good that you're all right, Lou. I didn't know if you was feeling poorly again, because I know you old folks, you get feeling bad. I got in my garden. I still got some cucumber plants I got to put in. That's it. I was put some herbs in there. They came out real good. All sorts of stuff. I made macaroni salad. I made pies. I made really good baked beans, and I took baked beans and I put, and those came out real good. I did all sorts of cooking. We had a regular fiesta yesterday. Lots of good leftovers today. That's what it's all about, as far as I'm concerned, on that day off. Yeah, I work on this 4-day schedule, so I work Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, so I'm off Sunday, Mondays, and Tuesdays. So Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday night, you can look for me on the radio, unless you get out there late at night. They got our shift jacked around, so I don't get off till 3:30 in the morning. I usually don't get home till 4:30. A lot of times I'll still turn the radio on, because at that time of night, the band is dead quiet, all the static's gone. And a lot of times I'll grab those little openings into Europe. Anyhow, N9GTO on HOPC.
Well, folks, my ears are starting to get a little fatigued. You know, with all the noise floor. Got the guys out there in Nine Land. I'm hearing them just fine, but it's starting to get a little hot in here. So I think I'm gonna end the stream here. And I'm not working tomorrow, so I'll definitely be on the air. Try to fire up the stream maybe in the afternoon. And yeah, Chip, send me an email or something. Like whenever you want to get on and screw around with AM, you know, don't be shy. I'll come out and talk to you. My email is good on QRZ. Yeah, exactly. Look me up on QRZ. So, AM is great, man. You have a good time. But anyway, yeah, I'm gonna shut this thing down for now. I'll be back tomorrow, and well, let me turn this down a little bit. I'll be back tomorrow. We'll be doing ham radio streams, AM stuff. I'm gonna try to start doing some YouTube stuff too. Like, I know you guys can kind of see what I got going on here, but I want to do like a real good Shack tour video and all that stuff. You know, what I'm trying to say is look out for more content, because I'm gonna be making stuff. I'm gonna be streaming and this and that. So if you haven't followed the channel, and hi Boo Boo, and you're into it, give it a follow. You'll get notifications when I go live and stuff, and you know, we'll have a good time. So I guess that's about it. I mean, hang out for a couple of minutes if anybody wants to chat or ask questions or anything, but other than that, that's about it for ham radio tonight. So God, excuse me, I'll be doing this regularly. I had so many problems today, man. My computer died, my transmitter was screwing up. I think I got it ironed out, man. Alright, guys. I end the stream here. Y'all have a great night, and come back sometime. We'll do some ham radio. 7-3's Chip, and everybody else. We'll catch you later. Peace, guys.